Greetings. I'm Jonathan Barker. My background includes a doctorate in ministry, a master's in divinity, and a bachelor's degree in communications. I'd like to share some thoughts with you on the subject of spirituality, science, and faith, and how they relate so that we might experience whole, complete, and fulfilled lives. Understanding the interconnection between mind, body, spirit, and the natural world of which we are essential participants expands our conscious awareness and the truth of who we are in the world. Our faith in what we believe is true is mirrored in our behavior. If I have faith that the evolution of all species of life on Earth may continue through careful stewardship of Earth's resources, then how I live will support that belief. Now, this faith, generated and sustained by the spiritual drive to live, can be supported by scientific imagination, research, and engineering, which upholds life. All three, spirituality, science, and faith, can combine their unique, interrelated gifts to continue the Earth's ability to heal itself and support life's evolution. Many today have become conscious that the health of the planet is deteriorating at a rapid pace. The Earth is the home of all evolved life over millions of years, including humans, the most evolved species. Sadly, some species have become extinct as the result of inadequate human stewardship, perhaps. Will the current and future generations be spiritually moved to a faith that resources can be developed which allow the earth to heal itself or the evolution of all living species continue? Or will we be so distracted by our pressing issues that the earth, home of all life, continues as a secondary concern, growing in its inability to support life? Now, this is not an exaggeration, nor is it hyperbole. We were very close to destroying life on Earth during the nuclear arms race, which began at the close of World War II 75 years ago. That same risk continues today with even greater urgency. There are today stockpiles of tens of thousands of nuclear weapons and even more advanced, deadlier nuclear weapons systems being designed, built, and tested today. However, that stark reality has dimmed in our consciousness. It has been replaced by the climate change crisis and biological threats such as the novel COVID virus pandemic. These will continue to produce a slower death to our planet than nuclear annihilation, and yet climate change and the use of nuclear weapons remain as great existential threats to our world's ecosystems upon which all life has evolved and depends. Nuclear weapons, climate change, biological threats, and disruptive technologies to our communication systems are all existential threats that humans have either created or failed to adequately address. Compounding these threats during the past few years in the United States and in some other nation states, we have witnessed the rejection of scientific truths from knowledge-based, peer-reviewed research. Ironically, many in political leadership roles have promoted false, misleading statements, even to the denigration of the scientists and the sciences which work together to find solutions for our complex problems. This is where we are today, and why the relationships between spirituality, our drive for life, science, providing the fact-based truth and knowledge of the world and the natural world we live in, and faith, which keeps us on a path to sustain the gifts of all life. Spirituality, science, and faith are critical aspects for the continuation of life. There are no Pollyanna, wishful thinking solutions to where we are currently. Many are turning their backs on our complex global problems. If I am not consciously aware of such problem, it does not exist for me. Spiritually, when I reject or ignore a truth, a reality I don't want to know about or even explore, let alone accept, I have chosen to live in a type of a darkness. I have a blind spot in my awareness. My knowledge of my world is limited. The same Albert Einstein who participated with other atomic scientists to design the first atomic nuclear bomb was quoted as saying, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand." I believe that to expand our imaginations and knowledge for the continuation of future human generations and all other species on Earth, this special relationship between spirituality, science, and faith are connected and essential for life to continue. As a starting point, I suggest we listen carefully to what our bodies, minds, and spirits communicate. By listening, we learn how we are changing throughout our lives within our ever-changing world context. This can bring significant rewards toward experiencing the possibilities of enjoying the full, whole, and complete lives we have inherited. As we expand our imaginations and apply the resulting knowledge from our bodies, we may have the imagination and wisdom to apply similar life-supporting imagination and subsequent knowledge to the stewardship of the earth. If we fail, I fear we will end our lives very disheartened, with our spiritual life extinguished, our faith gone, that we have the imagination and the tools of science to build and design for future generations to exist. I suggest we have inherited the gifts of spirituality, science, and faith to sustain the earth and all species. This is a critical point. Each of the three works synergistically, providing life, the means to sustain life, and a spiritually driven, faith-filled hope that future generations of each species will exist to experience their own inheritance, leading to their whole, complete, fulfilled lives. My next video will explore our spirituality in more detail, its purpose, its history, its gifts for us who live today. I thank you for listening. Share this with others you think might benefit. Thank you.